Ask them about their training. How much does it cost? We don't charge a damn dime for our training. It's a month of pre-training before you come to Utah. That's so we can get all the baby stuff out of the way and get you used to the language and the processes and run you through everything with videos. You watch a video, you answer some questions. You have to have at least a 70% passing score so that we are certain when you get here we can start spending our time working on the important stuff. Okay, we want to get you in the saddle. We want you to start printing immediately and become proficient at flying this airplane. You got a month of pre-training, normally an hour or two every evening for a month, get you through it. I've seen people bust through it in 4 days. And they were actually one of our best groups because it was so fresh in their mind instead of just trickling that information in. You got 5 weeks of training here in Utah. Okay? You're going to start off with little prints. You're going to work your way up to printing a mini home. We don't want you going home and trying to do something you haven't done here already. So you're going to print a mini home, 450 square feet. 8 feet tall. You're going to finish it, the walls while you're printing. You're going to put electrical in the walls while you're printing. We're going to teach you how to do it in a way that is faster and cheaper and better for you. And then when you go home, you have a month of post-training that you have to do. You literally have to do what you did here at home. Now you could bust through that in a week, bust through it in 2 weeks. You have contractually up to 2 months to get post-training done. But we hate to see that. We like to see people go straight from training. It's like when I got my pilot's license. Okay, my instructor says, you're not ready. You can barely fly. If everything is perfect, you can fly this airplane. Here you go. You have a license to be able to fly the airplane solo, all by yourself. You can't go kill anybody else. And you have to fly in these areas so you don't crash it in the ground and kill people on the ground too. I remember I was so ready to start flying. I'm like, give me the keys. Holy hell, I'm so sick and tired of listening to you. Okay, redundancy and repeating stuff, all the same crap we do. I feel terrible for people that have to go through this, but it's necessary. I just want the keys. Give me the plane. Sign my paper so I can go fly my airplane. Here you go. Remember everything I said. I go out there and I start flying. Holy hell, it's a little different when you're out flying entirely by yourself. You don't have somebody in the right seat correcting you or helping you, or you know, you're a fair weather pilot. If everything goes perfect, you can fly this airplane. That's kind of where you are when you go home. But holy hell, you get a crosswind or you land on a runway that's like half as long as the one you're used to landing on. These things will scare the hell out of you. You're like, oh shit. I wish my instructor was here with me. That's kind of where you're at when you go home. Then you got to print all the same things that you printed here. Build your confidence, build your NASCAR team, and you get used to being able to fly this airplane no matter what the weather, no matter what's going on, no matter what happens. The truth about training is when everything's going perfect, you're not learning nothing. The only time you really are learning is when you are having problems. And that was a big problem in our training in the beginning. We micromanaged everything. They spent $500,000. We want to make sure when they test drive this Ferrari, it works the way it's supposed to. And my guys were just micromanaging everything. Then they go home and they are trying to do it by themselves, and they haven't had to make decisions or solve problems on their own. They crash and burn. So I started looking at that, and I'm like, nah. And that's when we offered like a 3-week training, and then we went to 4 weeks, and now we're a 5-week training, even with the pre-training. So then the last part of it is certification. We don't allow anybody that buys our printer to go out and crash it in a mountain. We want to see that you can do what you did here. Oh, my training. What we were doing wrong was micromanaging everything. Had to stop doing that. It's hard for our guys. They want everything to go perfect because you paid a lot of money. High expectations, but I told them, you've got to let these people fail. They aren't going to learn unless they fail. They won't appreciate what we're saying about A, B, and C until they see the results of not being ready for that or knowing what they're doing. So that was a huge problem with our training in the beginning. We don't do it now. Okay, now you come here, we hold your hand like crazy for a couple weeks, and then you got a 3rd week where you're kind of doing your own thing. The 4th and 5th week, you're entirely on your own. so that when you get home, you've experienced that before. You're making all the decisions, you're making all the calls, you're doing the prep, you're doing the checklist. Okay. So as we see areas where we can do a better job to help our buyers have a more fluid and better experience when they get home, that's what we do. And we're continually changing and adjusting for that. But when you go home, you work your way up, you print all the same prints, you print your mini home, you finish it, you put doilies and curtains and windows in it. It's your best sales tool in the whole world. You bring buyers, building department, senators, congressmen, Habitat for Humanity, Red Cross, they get to walk this thing and they're like, holy hell, this is gorgeous, this is amazing. It's the best sales tool you could ever have. Okay, what did it cost you? $800 in material, $800 in labor to print the walls, okay, and then another, $10,000, $15,000 depending on how you finish it. Then we fly out, we check to make sure walls are plumb, that it's a professional product, and we have to certify the print team before we let you go do what everybody else is doing all over the world, which is R&D for these other printer companies, failing, stuff that looks like shit. Even professionals like Lennar, cracks, inconsistency in the walls, all this kind of stuff. We don't want to see that stuff. We come out and we certify the team, and that's when you're allowed to start then doing commercial work. So you want to bust through that in 2 weeks, do it. We prefer it. Our certification, obviously we do that to protect you. We want you to have a quality product that you can show people and be proud of. Likewise, we also have to think about our other buyers that have already bought. If somebody goes off half-cocked, they print something that looks like shit, and it ends up on YouTube or whatever else, that ruins the reputation for everybody. All my other buyers that are flying the MudBots flag makes people doubt. Okay, we don't want doubt, and so I'm trying to protect my other buyers. In fact, they're more concerned with my standards and certification process of a new buyer than we are, because their reputation's on the line. And then MudBots as well. Okay, you're printing with a MudBots printer. Last thing in the world we want to see is something that looks like this shit that everybody else is printing. I don't want that. Can't have it. We try and protect the company to not have that by helping you with this extensive training. Okay, and then the industry. The industry's one of our concerns as well. They keep seeing shit. They see the expenses. Once they learn to read between the lines and learn what to ask, we've had a lot of buyers that are like, yeah, we saw a couple of these other people's videos and got excited about it, started drinking Kool-Aid, started asking questions, and just came to the conclusion, oh shit, this industry isn't ready. I mean, it's just not there yet. We're like, no, wait a minute, come talk to us, come see, okay? Let us show you, and we get it, okay? They're not ready. It's not faster, cheaper, but come see us. But they formed a negative opinion based on the stuff that they saw other people doing, and not good.